thank you for joining me for part two of the Sidechick. I'm not even going to waste your time. We're just going to go ahead and pick up where we left off. So, I last stated that Nia and I had had sex in the bathroom. This was our very first time having sex. Um, we clean ourselves up and we leave and we go back to the party. Now, she meets my best friend and we're mingling, we're dancing, we're having a good time, but the juices are flowing. So at this point in time, Nia had a Dodge Ram pickup truck, and she makes a suggestion that we leave and go somewhere exclusive to finish what we started. Because y'all know once you pop, you just can't stop. And so that's what we did. We left and we went off on our own. We had sex again. And afterwards, I was just like, yes, I have cheated on my girlfriend before, but that was with my ex. It's not like I never had sex with her before. It didn't add another notch in my bed frame, but at the same time, I'm not this person that's, fucking in bathrooms and in cars and stuff like that. It was true, and she seen the sincerity in me, and she thought that was the cutest thing ever. She was like, yo, you're so fucking adorable. And I was like, why do you say that? She's like, because you're young, like take advantage of the moment, I'm not here to judge you, I'm out here with you, we doing this together. And I was like, oh shit, she right, we is out here together doing this. We go back to the party, and I'm not even sure how, but we leave the party again and we end up back in her truck. Now this night I was actually wearing a French maid costume for Halloween, and I had on fishnet stockings. Now ladies, if you've worn fishnets before, you know they can be tricky, they could be intricate, they could be annoying. And she was not patient at all because she rips my stockings off of me. And I was like, no, don't do it. Okay, do it, do it. Go ahead and do it. I just let my fucks just go flying out the window. Like, who cares? Who gives a flying fuck? We're already doing this. Why not? I thought because the party was dark, nobody was going to realize that I wasn't wearing stockings. But that's the first thing that people realized. They was like, girl, where are your stockings at? I'm like, who, me? Oh, I wasn't wearing stockings. No, I haven't had on stockings the whole night. You know, nah, not me. They was like, okay, we know what y'all was doing, but whatever. Everybody's having a good time. Who cares? Who cares? Um, Finally, Nia comes to me and she was like, I was only supposed to be here like 20 minutes, 45 tops, but I've been here for a couple hours. I gotta go. I know my girl's gonna be bitching when I get home. And I was sad because I was having a good time, but I understood where she was coming from. So I was like, all right, go ahead, your business. Call me or text me in the morning. It's probably around like 2 o'clock at this point in time. And, me and my housemates were cleaning up and, we're shutting the party down. I go to take the trash out. I turn around. Nia is standing right behind me. What are you doing here? From what I understand, from what she told me, she said that when she got home, we're going to call her girlfriend Jamie. When she got home, Jamie was all like, where the fuck were you at? You wasn't supposed to be out this long. And she was just like, I lost track of time, my bad, but I'm home now. So Jamie turns around and was like, whatever the fuck you was at, go. Go back there. Nia turns around and says, don't tell me that because there's somewhere else I'd rather be anyway. That pisses Jamie off and she's like, get the fuck out. So Nia leaves. And that's how she ended up back at the party. We didn't have sex this round, but we talked and she helped us clean up and everything. We ended up ordering pizza and we were sitting around laughing and everything, talking about the money we made and all this other good stuff. Nia's like, well, all right, let me go home and fight with this girl so I can get some rest. And I'm like, all right, you know the drill. Call me, text me, hit me up. She gave me a kiss on the cheek and she left. we finished cleaning up, me and my housemates and my house mom and my house dad, and I go and wash my makeup off and I get changed into my pajamas. And just as I'm laying down, this probably was about a half an hour later, I'm laying down and my phone rings. So I look at the caller ID and I'm like, Nia. And I'm like, hey, are you okay? And she was like, girl, I didn't realize it, but when me and Jamie was arguing, she took my house key. And I was like, what? She was like, yeah, I got a lot of keys on my ring, so I didn't even notice that the key was gone. So she locked you out, yeah. All right, let me come and I'm gonna let you in. So I felt bad because I was half of the problem. And I knew that if I just would have stuck to my guns on the whole platonic thing, none of this would have never happened. But it did. No turning back. Tough titty. So she laid down with me and I was just like, we'll talk more about this in the morning. I'm sorry that this is happening to you. She was like, it's cool. We had sex again. Definitely. Definitely had sex again. This is what, the fourth time this night? Why stop a good time? Like, keep it going. We go to sleep and we wake up in the morning and, me and my house family, we cooked breakfast all together and she had breakfast with us and we were all sitting around talking and stuff like that. And I don't know, like, I felt bad, but I didn't feel bad. I was happy that she was there with me, but it was nothing I can do. The situation was out of my hands. It was her situation with her girlfriend, just like I had my own with mine. So she finally leaves, and I didn't see her for the rest of the day. She squared away her issues, and, that was that. When my girlfriend and Nia met, that was very, very interesting because they did meet. Nia was still coming up to the apartment during the weekdays, probably like every other day. And at this point in time, Veronica Mars' box set had just been released. And one of my old coworkers had got it for me. So I loved Veronica Mars. Like, I used to be addicted to that show. So she came over and she had her little breakfast. And I was putting a DVD in a DVD player because she was actually watching the box set with me. When she would come up, we would watch, a few episodes together while she had her breakfast. I'm putting a DVD in a DVD player and I hear keys at the door. And we look at each other and I'm just like, oh shit. So I did the only thing I could do. I played it cool. I act normal. My girlfriend walked in and she was like, who's this? And I was all like, I told you about Nia before. She's one of my house brothers. What the fuck is she doing up here? She was like, oh, my bad, pimp. Cable guy was out here. I knew y'all lived out this way, so I hit her up and, swing through. She was like, did my girlfriend make you breakfast? Because she don't even make me breakfast. And she was like, chill, son. No, she didn't make me breakfast. She was like, sometimes I eat when I drive. I get the platters. That joint slipped on the floor one time. Wasn't a pretty sight. So I knew that, I would be up this way and we would be able to sit and chill. And so, I just asked her to plate it up for me. My girlfriend ate that shit up. Only because when I would cook breakfast, I would clean the dishes as I was cooking. So there was no trace of me ever cooking breakfast whatsoever. Like, I'm so happy because, she probably would have killed the both of us. She did say, I don't feel comfortable with you being here because I don't know you. So, if you don't mind, finish up and you got to go. So, my girlfriend was home maybe like a half an hour or so. And I was just like, all right, well, peace out. I'll talk to you later. And when she left, my girlfriend was just like, what's going on here? And I was all like, don't worry. Nothing's going on here. There is no, intimate play in the house. It's against the rules. So it's nothing you have to worry about. Plus, she's not even like my type. Like, come on. She ate that shit right on up. Oh my God, did she ever? Either way, Nia went and she waited for me like a few blocks away. So when my girlfriend left, me and her went and we walked around and we was talking and laughing and shit like that, cracking jokes or whatever. And I was just like, yo, that was such a close call. Like, this is crazy. Now, I never met Nia's girlfriend, but we did exchange words before. One day, I was on the phone with Nia, and she was like, listen, Jamie is coming in the house, so I'm gonna hit you up later. So I was like, all right. From what I was told, when Jamie came in, she heard Nia end the conversation. So she came straight upstairs, straight into the bedroom. She was like, who the fuck was you on the phone with? So Nia was like, one of my homies. She was like, you lying, because if it was one of your homies, you would have stayed on the phone. I give it to Jamie because that shit's probably true. If it was really one of your friends and there was no need to actually get off the phone, then you wouldn't have done it. She was like, you was talking to a bitch? And Nia was like, nope. And she was like, I'm going to find out. And she unbuckled her pants and she went into her underwear and she found out that Nia was soaking wet. So she pushed her, she grabbed her phone, she ran with it, she memorized my number, threw the phone back at her, left. Nia calls me like, listen, Jamie got your number on my phone. I think she won't call you. And I'm like, okay. Next thing you know, I get a private call on my other line. I'm like, I think she's calling me now. It's private. Now, I had a Motorola Razr. 10 years ago, if you had a Razr, you could go in, and when somebody calls you, you can click them into a three-way, but they would never know. So Nia knew this, and Nia was like, put me on three-way. So I was like, all right, cool, whatever. Hello. She was like, who's this? And I was like, this is Gab. Now, my friends really did call me Gab at that point in time, so I wasn't lying, but I was never going to tell her that my name is Marquita. Why would I do that? So she was like, well, hello, Gab. And I was like, who's this? And she was like, Cleo. And I was like, is your name really Cleo? And she was like, it's short for Cleopatra. And I was like, oh, okay. And she was like, how do you know Nia? I was like, Nia's one of the homies. And she was like, are you fucking with her? And I was like, pause. We're going to hold this conversation right here. I got my own girl that I live with. I don't have no time to be trying to push up on yours. But if you was more secure in your relationship and you knew how much she loved you, you wouldn't be on my phone right now harassing me about absolutely nothing. You know, as a woman, I'm going to come to you and I'm going to tell you, you know, I'm sorry that, you know, there are complications, you know, between me and you, because obviously we don't know each other. But if you want to sit down and talk to me and we can meet up face to face, I have no problem with that. Because like I said, I don't want no problems. I got my own issues in my own relationship. I'm not here to cause any of yours. That shit caught her off guard. Now, let me tell you, if I was 20 at the time, if I'm not mistaken, Jamie was 27. So for me to pull this shit off effortlessly, smoothly, for me to pull this off smoothly, I was patting myself on the back. I was like, oh man, I did that. Yeah, I did that. We hung up the phone. Nia's still on the line. So Nia's like, damn, that was so sexy. Was it? She was like, hell fucking yeah. The next time I see you, I got something for that ass. And I was like, okay, I'll be waiting. Why not? Why not give her what she wants? I mean, why would I blow my cover with her? Shit, that's my good time too. I'm not gonna be up here fucking up what we got going on. Oh well. As far as the relationship between me and Nia, it started to get stronger and stronger. We started to spend more time with each other. It got to the point where, like, damn near every weekend, I would go to Philly and I would be at, you know, my house mom's house and with my house siblings, and we would get together and we would go out. Now, Nia would go out with us. Always. Always go out with us. There was one time that we were in a club and we were having a good time and we made out in the club. Nia turns around and she's like, I think one of Jamie's friends is here. And I'm like, damn, that's crazy. We better play it cool for the rest of the night. She went back, and the friend went back, should I say, and told Jamie what happened. And it caused a ripple, but she just told her that it happened, but there was nothing between us. Now I'd be insecure. You on the phone with this chick, and now I hear you making out in the club with her. That's crazy, but Jamie stayed with her. They were still together. They still lived together, everything. As far as I go, with my relationship, the shit was like in limbo. It was at a standstill, Nothing got worse, nothing got better. I was around when I wanted to be. I was going when I wanted to be, and it just was what it was. Now, if you remember earlier in the last video, I talked about Judy. Judy was the girl that I met, that I had this situationship with, and she overstepped her boundaries. So one night, we were all supposed to be going out. Nia was at work. She didn't get off yet, but she was coming over to go out with us. So I get a phone call from this weird number, and I answer it, and it's Judy. Hey, Marquita, I know it's been a while since you heard from me, but I wanted to see what was going on with you. And I'm like, oh, okay, I'm chilling. What's up with you? She was like, well, I left Philly and I moved home, and I was like, oh, I didn't know that. And she was like, but I moved back up here, and I was like, oh, okay, that's what's up. She was like, I moved up here because I wanted to be with you. You wanted to be with who? I wanted to be with you. No, you don't, because I don't want to be with you. I just figured, no, we're going to cut this conversation right now. I told you I didn't want to be with you when I was fucking with you, and I'm telling you now, I don't want to be with you. Take your ass back home. Do something with yourself. Find somebody to be with, because it's not me. It was never going to be me. We were never meant to be together, and I'm really sorry about that, but this is just the way it is. That conversation was ended right then and there. Went on about my day. But like nothing ever happened. Nia comes over, and I'm like, here, hold my phone. I'm going to go finish putting on my makeup. Then we're all going to leave. So me and my house sisters are upstairs putting on our makeup, finishing up our hair and everything else like that. And when I come back down, Nia's tapping my phone up against her knuckles. Her knuckles are beet red. So I'm like, you okay? Yeah, I'm cool. All right, well, she said she good. Well, I'm not going to question her a million times. She said she all right. We get to the club. We're probably there for about a half an hour, and I'm standing up against the bar. I got a drink in my hand, because she always bought my drinks. I got my elbows up on the bar, and I'm sitting there. Nia's standing next to me, and she has one arm up on the bar, but then she puts the other one on the other side of me. So she's standing like this, and I'm like this. She's not smiling. She's not saying nothing. I know something's wrong. So I go to wiggle, and I feel that her arms are locked. And I'm like, yo, what's up with you? She turns around and says, who's Judy? What? Who the fuck is Judy? Judy is this girl I used to mess with way before I even met my girlfriend. Like, how do you know about her? Because she texts your fucking phone, and I responded, no. What are you doing? What? Why would you do that? Why would you respond to her? What is wrong with you? This is somebody I'm trying to get away from. She called me earlier, and I fucking deaded her shit. Why are you telling me that you text her? My house brothers, who were all studs, seen that something was wrong. My house sisters, who were all femmes, seen it as well. So they all came over, and one of the studs tapped her on the shoulder and was like, come with us right now. So she went with them. And the femmes came over, and they was like, yo, what's going on? I tell them what happened. I'm like, girl, this This chick I used to mess with was hitting me. I told her she wanted to be with me, and I told her no. And I got off the phone with her. She texted me, and Nia responded to the text. They was all like, "What?" Yeah, Nia responded to the text. Why? So the studs take her out in the back of the club because there was like a smoking section back there. And she was just like, before y'all stop me the fuck out, because there's way too many of y'all having one conversation with me, please understand. And she explains to them what happened. They was like, ho, 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 ho. First of all, you know her the way we know her. And when you met her, she had a girl and still was honest with you. You know that when she not with her girl at home, she with you. Why would she ever have any need to lie to you? So Nia's like, well, I don't know. And that's what I'm trying to get to the bottom of. They was like, well, we going to solve this for you. She don't. So you either going to trust her or you're not allowed to come the fuck around her. She trusts me. And she made it up to me later on at night. Yep. That was a really crazy situation, but she did come back and she apologized to me, and she was just like, I gotta have more faith in you. I guess like I must really be feeling you to get jealous like this. And I was like, yeah, you must. You really must. We was good from there. I don't think we had any problems after that. What I will say is that the only conflict we did have, I brought that on myself. My girlfriend is taking me shopping one weekend, and instead of going to the mall that we normally go to, we go to the mall on the opposite side of the city. So if this is Philadelphia down here, we go up and around to another mall. That's not in Philadelphia either, but it's a big mall. So I'm trying stuff on in the dressing room. Like, oh yeah, I gotta get this. Yeah. I need to get this. I like this. And my cell phone goes off and it's Nia. And I'm like, hi. And she was like, what are you doing? And I was like, shopping. And she was like, oh, you're so spoiled. And I'm like, yeah, I know. And she was like, where are you at? And I was like, Franklin Mills. And she was like, oh, I'm working up there. And I was like, oh, really? And she was like, yeah. I was like, did you take a break yet? She was like, no. And I was like, oh, okay. Cool. So I go and, Linda buys me whatever the fuck I want, as always. And go and she pays for everything. And we get in the car and we go. And I'm like, baby, I'm hungry. And she was like, what do you want to eat? And I was like, I don't know. We have to figure it out. Meanwhile, I'm simultaneously texting Nia, you still take that break? Nah. All right, cool. Meet me at such and such. So here I am at the dinner table. I got my side chick sitting in front of me and my girlfriend is sitting right next to her. What the fuck am I thinking? I don't know. At one point in time, I thought I was going to have a panic attack. So I get up and I go outside and I call my homegirl Motto. And I'm like, Motto, you won't believe what's going on. And she's like, what's wrong? What's up? Girl, Linda and Nia is at the table together and we're all at dinner. She was like, whoa, what? I was like, I know. She was like, get the fuck off the phone with me and go figure this shit the fuck out. Because you doing the most right now. Yeah, you're right. Click, go back in. By this time, we're all finished dinner. And we go to leave. They pay the tab, of course, because I wasn't. And I get in the car and I'm in the passenger side and I'm going through my bags. And I'm like, yeah, I can't wait to wear this. These are cute. And I look up and I notice that they're both facing me. So Linda's standing in front of the driver's seat and Nia's standing in front of me. But she's staring at me. And I'm like, no, don't do this now. So Nia is still having a conversation with Linda. And Linda starts to realize that Nia's staring at me. So she looks at Nia, and she looks at me, and she looks at Nia, then she looks back at me. And I just put my head in my bags again. Like, I don't know. I don't want no parts of this. I brought this on myself, but I don't want to deal with it. She drawing right now. Like, why are you making it hot for the both of us? Why? Either way, I see they shake hands, and Nia's like, you're not going to get out the car and say bye. And I was like, yeah. So I go and I give her a hug, and she whispers in my ear, I can't wait to see you later on. And I'm like, I know, I can't wait to see you too. But as I walk away from her, I'm like, all right, I'll see you at the next house meeting. So I get in the car. And Linda's like, I don't know if I want you to be around her. And I'm like, why? And she's like, well, when you went outside, she told me that I was lucky to have you. And if I was her, I would be fucking you every single day. Well, let me rephrase that. If she was Linda, she would be fucking me every single day. What the fuck? As always, beautiful people, don't forget to check out the description box below this video to visit my brand new Facebook page.